I'll read everyone. Well, 12th of November, still mild up here on the mountain, so we're going to use that to our advantage and get some jobs done around the garden. The fence needs fixing off the last wind storm we had. It was actually a good few months back and I just never had time to do it. Plus there was so much foliage growing on it that you just couldn't get access to the posts that I need to replace. So I'm going to do that. The fish are doing sound now, I would say. They're really looking calm and happy. I think they're really just enjoying it. It's pond's still holding about 11 degrees at this time of year, which is a real rarity up here. Let's just have a quick look at them. Hanging around the feeder, which is actually off at the minute, as I just can't risk it going off constantly when the temperature isn't correct, especially when I'm working away from home. It's a bit of annoying with these feeders. They're a really good product, but I just wish it had for the money you pay for them especially, it had a built-in feature where if it was below a certain desired temperature, it wouldn't go off. It would just help me out a lot, because when I'm not here, I would like to think it won't go off if it's too cold to do so and the fish aren't going to be interested. So at the minute we're just feeding a little amount by hand when they look interested. Of course, is the tuber always interested, but she's just had a good feed, so she's not getting anything at the minute. So yeah, all well here. So as I said, today we're going to be fixing these two fence posts that gave on me the last time we had a good wind. There was so much foliage growing on the back, I just couldn't get access to what I needed to, and I didn't want to ruin it all by ripping it out, so I've let it just die off. It's calm enough now for us to get on with it, so we're just going to get that out of the way of the day. As you can see, we had to tie all of the furniture back on the back decking. The wind was getting up the last couple of weeks, so stops the wife having to come out and move that around. It stops her shouting at me for not getting things done. So we'll get sorted with the fence and we'll come back to you. Well then, welcome back. Well, I suppose you haven't really been anywhere, but it's now Sunday, the 13th of November. The fence is fixed. We got two of the posts out that were rotted and replaced them with new ones. Right, bit of a pain in the arse, to be honest. So behind these metal plates that you see is what hold the posts in place. 6 posts went all together on this fence. There was one on the far neighbour side, right near the garage at the end, 2 on the next door, and then we had the remaining on my side. A nice old couple next door. I believe the posts are on their side, so it's supposed to be their fence, but to access and fix it all, you've got to be on all of our sides. So I said I would do it for them. I didn't really want other people, trades, coming in my garden and stuff, so I preferred to just do it myself. I did just say to them, if you want to buy the wood posts, I'll just do it for you, which is what we did. So 6 posts, coming to about £50. But they're being such kind, nice people, they wouldn't see me just do it for nothing. So she gave me a nice little reward for doing it for her, which I did refuse, but they insisted. So thank you very much to them for that. I will put that to something of good use coming up to Christmas. Still very mild up here. The pond is holding at about 11, I think. Just yeah, 11.2 the day. Ace of trees, leaves are just absolutely everywhere. Obviously we've got the net on, sort them out. There's something bugging us with the fish. There's a little bit of sulking still been going on, but look at them. They're just wanting to be in the skimmer. Now they're either searching for food, or the temperature's been up, because they are quite active, or I'm worrying there's something still irritating them. So we're going to do some tests and stuff and see with the water if there's anything that's off. Right, so we've done some tests and everything looks alright, apart from the nitrite is up. Not a great deal, but it is showing signs. It probably actually looks even redder on this Samsung camera than it is to the eye. But so what I've looked at is obviously the pressure goes again in the fast skimmer. I am slightly concerned that there's something irritating the gills on them. They obviously just had gill fluke was found a couple of weeks back now. We've had 2 doses with the LearnX Pro, so that should have solved that. I've scraped them since and I can't see anything. I don't want to keep scraping. You know, sometimes you have to leave alone. But we'll just monitor for now. We're looking in the bio chambers. I'm not happy with the amount of movement going on in them, to be honest. I don't know whether they certainly looked better than that last year, I remember. Maybe it's that older pump down there, the Cockney Koi one, is needing its parts replaced on it. Or it's just, maybe it's more media in this time I put in. I'm not sure, but anyway, I'm not happy with the way it's not moving around as much. And if that could be contributing towards the biological side not performing as well as it did last year when I changed over. I suppose also to consider is the fish have got bigger since last year. I've added new fish into the pond. So extra bodies, and then it really didn't help that we had to PP the pond at the same time I changed everything over, more or less, so that's took a big hit on me. So the nitrate could just be because of that, but we'll trial using the EA pump, the 130 it is. Yep. Just to replace that one, which is only 50 litres. So if I knock off the Cockney Koi pump and the smaller 45 litre air pump, and I transfer everything running off this bigger EA 130, we'll just see what movement we get in these beds then. Right, so now the 130 on, which is running the air stone in the centre of the pond, and these 2 chambers now. Now they seem to be getting a lot more movement in them now, so I'm happier with them than what was happening beforehand. It's still backing up a bit at the back, which you would expect with the flow of the water, but the actual movement in the media is a lot more versatile. Volatile, I don't want to say. Volatile? Aye, something like that. Anyway, we're going to leave the 130 air pump connected, and I think, as I just have done. More air has got to be better than less. We'll see how that helps out. We'll add some more pure into the system, give it a kick start again, and then hopefully I'll monitor these guys and they'll not give us any reason to panic anymore. Part of his wishes is just winter would come and they'd all just slow down and get through it okay. But it seems a strange end of the season with everyone getting parasite issues, and maybe it's just because the temperatures haven't gone down enough. Obviously the fish's immune system's a bit lower, but for the temperatures for the parasites it's probably ideal for them. So let's just fingers crossed that we can solve the issue with this nitrate right, and like I say, I don't have to start scraping again. But you are either hungry or something is irritating you, big girl. Well, that's the air pump switched out and everything back neat underneath there. So they're looking a lot better now. So get them lids just turned back on. I'm going to go round to my mother's for my Sunday dinner, which is kindly put on for us. And then I'll come back and I'm going to dump some water and do a bit more of a water change than I normally would, just to help dilute that nitrite a bit. And then we'll see if I'm in two minds whether I probably will do it, because I'm going away for work for the week and I'd just like to know if there's anything before I go. So the little kahaku, just one fin, what doesn't seem to want to move it much, not swimming as comfortable as I'd like to see him. And this big girl, she's, don't know, she's just not acting normal, which is, could just be the nitrite, but if I scrape her, she's pretty calm for a scrape, that one. She's not too bad to handle. It'll just put me my mind at rest again that there's nothing else going on, that I'm leaving for a week when I'm away. So, going for my Sunday dinner, then we'll come back. Right then, so we're back from Sunday dinner. I'm stuffed, and look what I got. Called to a local Argos, where the shop's available of course, and we, using the money given for fixing the back fence off the neighbours, I got myself 2 more of the Philips Hue lights, so that will be a total of 8 of these I've got now. It's going to be like Blackpool illuminations out here. So I look forward to getting them set up and see what I can make it look, improve the lighting in the garden some more. I think they're really good, these lights. I have a lot of fun with them. I've got the Philips Hue telly in the dining room, so I set them all up in there, and obviously on the dark nights it's great to watch movies. And there's a brilliant thing where there's actually someone who follows storms and lightning, and it actually lights your whole room up, whatever's going on the screen. So it's a bit of fun to do in the dark nights. So, but out here in the garden, I think they look really cool. So next thing is them and a fire pit. I can see me sitting out the back for a bit longer in through the winter months. But getting back to the fish, we're gonna now dump quite a bit of water out to try and dilute some of this nitrite spike I'm seem to having. We'll do that quite easily. The switch on the 14,500 pumps, which is 1 and 3. That will trigger the drum, so we'll just pull that off for the minute, as now we're getting a lot of flow pulled through the bottom drains. The 2 10,000s for the winter running, and the 2 14,000s with the normal running, which are now just throwing water up to the nexus at the back, which is just dumping it straight back out. So that shouldn't take long to drop the pond level. This also gives the bottom drains a good pull through. Not that there's much settling in them at the minute because it's covered over and the fish aren't eating much, but it still gives the lines a good pull with the amount of flow being pulled through off the 4 pumps now. So we'll just picking on it a bit of food. We'll just dump some water, like we say, hoist some fresh back in, try and dilute that nitrite a bit. And I'll probably, for my own peace of mind, like I said before, I'm going to scrape the Ochiba and the little Kahaku, just because it's on my mind about them. And I'd like that just clarified, hopefully before I go away for work for the week. And so I shall get this water out, top her up, and then I'll get back to you. Right, I've just dropped a good 6 inches of water out of the pond, so we're just going to top it back up again. I can top it up pretty fast. Luckily I've got the big blue in there, and then the 3-stage also, so I don't have to trickle it in. I test the water coming out of there with the, is it the chlorine tablets? I can't remember that, DP4 I think. So anyway, my big blue is holding out still, hasn't needed anything done to it yet. So we'll get them topped back up with some fresh water, and hopefully that helps things out a bit until the bacteria stage in the biochambers can perform better for us. Well, I've scraped the 2 fish and nothing to be found, so we're just going to have to put it down to the nitrite. It's getting dark now, so I can go to work next week anyway now, knowing that there's nothing major on the scrapes that was doing any damage while I was away. There's always a risk of something there small that I can't see, so, but I'm not getting flicking and flashing really. It's more rubbing and just irritation, so I'm happy I can put it to bed for this tonight anyway. So until next time everyone, I'll spin you around. I need to get this net back on and get myself inside and rested up, because it's Birmingham tomorrow, so nice good 4.5 hour drive for me. So yep, I'll get this net back on. See you all next time. Thanks very much.